Hey there, hope you're doing well. Just want to have a quick chat about cheap bar clamps. So you can probably get a flavour of some of my videos. I'm trying to show easy and approachable ways of doing woodworking. You don't have to splash out a lot of cash on stuff. That's a relatively recent phenomenon. Again, it's great if you are. Perfect. Do that. But it can sometimes feel a bit like if you go down that route that, everybody's got to do it. You don't need a full fleet of Bessies to be able to do some pretty decent projects. Now, these aluminium bar clamps were seemed popular for a while, and for use at home, I picked up a few, and they're all right. They get you going. Currently, they cost about £15 for this kind of 22-inch length, something like that, and they're okay. And you can make some improvements to them. They come hollow section aluminium. You can cut a piece of wood, slip it in there, and that stops what I've got there, which is some crush going on. Also, what's a little bit irritating is they've got these springs here, and I found on a few of mine that the spring pinged out and goes off with quite a pop, and I had no idea where it's gone, and I've got quite a few, and it's kind of irritating because that can just slide off and slide right off the end of the bar. So yeah, they're fine, they're okay. But I was thinking I wanted to add a few more clamps, so I had a little look around. I thought I'll probably just go for the aluminium ones because I don't really want to divert a load of funds to something else. But when I was looking, I found this is an option. And unbelievably, I've got this aluminium one set in front of it. It costs exactly the same as the aluminium clamp. At the minute, the aluminium clamps are going for about £15 on Amazon or various different sources. If I've got that wrong, not a problem. But this one is £15 as well. And let's look at some of those differences. You've got one weedy little rivet here to hold it in. It's not particularly well done. Here on this one, it's just floating around a lot. There's a lot of play. That's just solid. Really, really solid. It's got a nice foot on it, for want of a better description. Nice base, which allows it to really stand upright. This is, again, okay, but it doesn't have quite the same foot as that one. Again, we're talking the same money. And also, look at the amount of thread difference. I can move that one an awful lot more than I can this one, which can be frustrating. You get to that point where you think, oh, I'm nearly at the clamp point. Oh, there's a bit of a gap. I need to put a shim in or whatever. It's not a problem with that one. This bar, lightweight aluminium. That can be nice because it's easy to move around. But this is like 1/4 inch thick by 1.25 steel, galvanized. It's an easy win. I don't have to cut bits of wood to go into it, and it doesn't sound much cutting bits of wood, but if you're at home and you want to work mainly by hand or can't maybe afford machines, by the time you've cut maybe 5 or 10 bits of wood and you've slid them in and you've, whatever, it takes you a bit longer. Whereas this one, don't have to bother, it just goes straight in the vise. So I'm sure Screwfix, which is like just a UK, like a general building supplies firm, they sell like all kinds of equipment that's mainly aimed at contractors. It's just down as a Sash clamp, but no doubt you can probably get this kind of thing on Amazon, various other places, eBay. I haven't looked, I'll be honest. But if other people have, and you know where else you can get this kind of thing, feel free to stick it down in the comments. But yeah, I'd definitely take a look. And, quite a few people will use these in a vise. I've seen a guy, good few years ago now, using these in a vise to carve a ball and claw foot on a cabriole leg, because you can kind of have it in your face vise, and I'll set this up in a minute to show you that. And as well, you can use that if you don't have like a tail vise kind of system where you've got like the dogs through the bench. You can kind of get over a few things by mounting it in your face vise, but I'll show you that. But yeah, really think you ought to strongly consider looking into it. Again, if you are looking for it, these are from Screwfix, Magnuson, paid for them myself, but it's a no-brainer. 15 quid for this, steel. Well, yeah, nice feature on the end. There's a little divot out there which stops the clamp head falling off. there isn't one on these. So what can happen once that spring falls off, you pick them up and those clamps can just slide off the end. Again, if those aluminium ones are all you can get, they're going to be fine. This one that's really punished, I did take it to work and use it for a few jobs, and it was used in an industrial setting. So for home woodworking, they're fine. But if you've got the option, get these, like 100% better, to the point where it's like, I'm surprised these have gone, unmissed. They've gone missed, look for them. So I'll set it up in the vise and we'll take a quick look at that. So here's set up in the vise. Very straightforward way of holding work, pretty common. People have been doing it for years. Yeah, you can just drop it in. And again, threads work nicely. Clamp it up. It's held securely. Same thing if you've got a board, you can just drop it down. So obviously your clamp heads are below. I'll be honest, I don't use this method particularly. Like I said, the guy who I saw, and he was doing fantastic work carving that ball and claw foot. I might hold something then, or I'm not saying it's a bad method, it's good, but for most face planing, bench stop every time. Fantastic. You don't have to have a fancy one like this with metal in it. It can be just a wooden one, but then you don't have to use dogs or clamps or anything. You literally just have it in there and you plane up against it. It's such a time saver. Your work really speeds up. But yeah, clamps, that's what we're talking about. Look at these ones. I think they're a real thing to consider.